Greetings, Mafia. Socrates was the wisest man of ancient Greece. He lived during the time known as the Golden Age of Pericles. He warned Athenians that their pending war with Sparta is a lost cause and unnecessary. He criticized the Athenian elite, pointing out their corruption. Finally, he was arrested and killed. Cicero was the wisest man of ancient Rome. He ignited the golden age of Latin literature and Roman law, still used in many countries of the world. He criticized Second Triumvirate, and as a result, he got his head chopped off. Sir Thomas More is considered to be the first science fiction writer. His work Utopia depicts advanced futuristic society of men living in harmony with nature. He criticized corrupt rulership of Henry VIII, and consequently he got his head chopped off. Some might say they would be better off if they took the money and kept their mouth shut. Maybe so, but they view themselves as beacons of reason in otherwise unreasonable times. Had they not spoke out against what they thought was wrong, nobody would remember them. Needless to say, their opinions were unpopular and therefore condemned by majority of their contemporaries. Any society that prohibits unpopular opinion is one persecuting its most intelligent and brightest. And once it reaches that point, the society is on a downward slope and the point of no return. Our intelligence, which enabled us to develop science and technology, was given to us by nature. We are the opposite of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were huge, powerful beasts with tiny brains and concerned only about two things: eating and mating. Humans, on the other hand, are weak animals with powerful brains. This gift of nature allowed us to become masters of this planet. However, we now resemble dinosaurs more than ever before. Everywhere you look, you'll find huge, obese people with tiny brains concerned only about two things: eating and mating. And in some cases, not even that. What's even more discouraging is that we don't have our contemporary Socrates, Cicero's, or Thomas More's. Instead, we have Kardashians, life coaches, and other similar lower forms of primates appealing to our most basic instincts and stimulating our groins instead of our brains. Our leaders are taking pictures with celebrities, athletes, and entertainers instead of scientists, writers, and philosophers. That's because they know the intelligence is the lowest common denominator in current Western society, for otherwise their chances of getting into positions of power or any decision making will be slim to none. They know that the easiest vote is ignorant vote. Maybe it's because intelligent people among us decided they're better off with their heads on their shoulders, or maybe they realized that mankind hasn't learned much from 6,000 years of its recorded history. Maybe a bit of both. The decline of intelligent thought led us to artificial intelligence that fits any pocket, making decisions for us about what to think, eat, drink, and wear because we've become too intellectually lazy. The system declared war on nature and it's already losing. It's not a coincidence that the most advanced countries in the world have the lowest birth and highest suicide rate. Everything I stated so far applies mainly on Western society and those who identify with it. Its increase in bitching about low birth rate, immigrant invasion, good old days of the 50s, and victim mentality goes hand in hand with pandering to slutty behavior and pampering of women, along with ever-growing support of a natural sex. Women are gatekeepers of childbirth, but no man of intelligence or self-respect is under the illusion of turning a hoe into a housewife. Indeed, most men are thirsty enough to stick their dicks into a good-looking heifer, but only few, if any, are foolish enough to raise family with them. Mixture of loose women and hard liquor is not a recipe for a healthy family. Raising a family takes commitment. Getting into panties of an easy woman doesn't. Commitment is a key word. It's what makes everything work: science, family, friendship, technology, society, sports, and everything else. However, Western society is all about instant gratification, which is the polar opposite to commitment. Commitment has become a bad word. All we hear is what you've done for me lately, instead what you can do for us in the long run. And it doesn't apply strictly to relationships, it applies to everything. Self-proclaimed defenders of the Western culture, mostly white nationalists, love to brag about its achievements while forgetting either out of convenience or plain ignorance that those achievements were produced by individuals and that they were more often than not condemned, brutalized, and killed by the same culture. I'm more inclined to put my money on convenience rather than ignorance, for how else could successors of the same culture mob that had Galileo imprisoned for life vicariously claim those individual achievements without co-opting them to a group? This is the reason why Black Pill is all about individualism, with little to no concern about overall public opinion. Historical progress of humanity was pushed by individual visionaries, not by sheepish groups. Accomplishment takes time, quick gain doesn't. Civilizations were built for centuries, not overnight. Lack of commitment and instant gratification is what's destroying Western society. Every presidential candidate across the board is promising war on something. War on drugs, poverty, terrorism, but no one is saying anything about war on stupidity, illiteracy, instant gratification, and unearned privilege. Governments of Western countries have long lost commitment for their citizens, while the citizens themselves lost commitment to any kind of long-term effort. If we can get it right here and now, it's just not worth it. New definition of success is maximum gain with minimum effort. Acquisition of wealth through the least amount of work is considered slick. Hence the reason why I don't value my channel based on sheer number of views or subscribers, but rather on the quality of intelligent exchange. Trolls aside, my audience hold me accountable for every word and will quickly call me out on anything resembling dishonesty and inconsistency. And that's good. This is not a place for lemmings or those capable of nothing but parroting mainstream talking points. After all, biggest YouTube channels are about video games, twerking, and TV shows. Those are not categories I want to be associated with. Earlier generations of the 20th century were indoctrinated by dangerous ideologies. We, on the other hand, have been indoctrinated by stupidity, mediocrity, self-indulgence, and intellectual laziness. Ideologies regarding of their character require a certain code of conduct, while we require life coaches. Every time I read comments by self-proclaimed defenders of the West, first thing I notice is a staggering level of illiteracy. Some of them even misspelled the word fuck. The fact many of these comments were written in all capital letters speaks for itself. Audiobooks are now a wide accepted substance for actual ones because reading itself became a lost art few are actually capable of. Knowing the meaning of words doesn't equal knowing the language itself, because the language is primarily defined by its written form. But even if you're a reader, modern literature is overwhelmed with cheap love and fantasy novels written in less than 1,000 words. Writers of such lame novels are making millions and often seen in mainstream media pedestalized by a host who himself or herself is nothing more than intellectual toilet brush. I don't have a problem with love or fantasy genre per se. If properly written, these books can induce emotions and imagination of its readers. But these novels are clearly written as a pastime in a hair and nail salon, something to read while your hair is getting dry along with your brain. These so-called love stories are nothing more than gossip tales wrapped in a fancy covers reflecting messed up love lives of its authors. That's not a gripping literature, for it lacks the wealth of words classic novels are required. But then again, how are you able to write rich literature when your smartphone is smarter than you and knows more words? Just like literature, contemporary music is all about glorifying clubbing, partying, and self-indulgence. We have baby boomers to thank for it, but even they preserved some level of quality. What we've been fed today is even lower on scale. Not so long ago, first-time visitor to your home would always look to see what kind of books you read and music you listen. They were curious because it was telling of you. But now the first thing on their mind is your TV set and your footwear. Men like Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein took their work from Europe to the United States because it was regarded as a haven of free intellectual thought and a bastion of scientific development. Now, however, those same men will be ridiculed for not getting enough sex or socializing. Tesla was speaking to his pigeon, while Einstein didn't like combing his hair. Contemporary America would be more interested in their stance on LGBT and gender equality or whether or not they support Trump. Men like Tesla and Einstein were not motivated by instant gratification, nor did they consider themselves superior to the rest of the humanity, but rather as its servants, striving to make a world a better place to live. Building walls and imposing tariffs on other countries won't make America or the West great again, but aforementioned on stupidity, mediocrity, and illiteracy will do just that. But let's not despair. There's a beacon of light in all this, and it's us. We are beating the drum, and the system can't put us on chopping block because the ground is already shaking under its feet while we are growing, slowly but surely. We haven't lost hope in humanity's capacity of higher thought because we're the ones guarding it. We don't come before the storm, we come after. If you like this video, you can download it, re-upload it, make it your own if you want to. There's a PayPal tip jar in the description box, and you can also support this channel by downloading a Brave browser by using a Top Dollar Gangster link you'll find in the description box as well. And it's totally free. This is Top Dollar signing off.